what's weird is that when when you first hit the balloons, I was like, wait, Kyle's birthday ain't today. I thought
Hey, shout out to whose birthday it is today. Tyler Skidmore. Happy
oh,
birthday,
happy
buddy.
birthday. Happy birthday. You get him something? No. No.
You don't say that like you've ever gotten me anything for my birthday.
I have gotten you stuff for your birthday. Remember that one time I had, that lady of the evening. I had her come in, say hello to you. That's all. Nothing. No laws were broken in the. I'm just saying. I ain't want to have to say that over the pod, but that's why I said after that, there's nothing I can do to top that. So I just said.
There's plenty you could do. She was missing several teeth.
I mean, look, I was a broke college student.
And Brett stank of halitosis.
And look, man,
I didn't appreciate. Nobody appreciated that. She didn't even appreciate it. She was so confused. She thought she was meeting V-Bear, but it ended up being K-Baby, and I'm just like, I don't understand why he sent.
I told her I had to reschedule, and then I sent her your address.
Yeah, I don't appreciate that because then my mom was there. It was so awkward.
You didn't tell me she was there.
Yeah, that's why I was pissed.
Dang, my bad, bruh. I was trying to surprise you. I would have gave you a heads up to have everything, But
that ain't the kind of surprise I want.
Dang, my bad. Next time.
You could have just got me a PlayStation. And that would have been fine.
She was way cheaper than a PlayStation.
You could have just got a game then.
Man, she was still cheaper than a game. Oh man! Hello, buddy. Hey.
I know it's been such a long time.
I know.
It's probably been like 2 months since we recorded.
It's been a month. I did actually. Skype told me it's been a month. It's been.
It's only been a month.
It's been a month since you missed my call in April.
Wait, what call was that?
I was like one you like.
We were supposed to meet, and you called me.
I called you on Skype because you didn't give me a head, so it says missed call.
Okay, whatever. Either way, we didn't meet that time, so that don't count. Why you have to even bring that up?
I'm just saying that's the last time we was even supposed to.
I'm talking about when we met with Ote. That was the last time, wasn't it?
Oh, well, that was April 12th, according to Skype.
All right, so it's been 3 months. Cool. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the, what's the name
But guess what? It never gave dead. It never gave dead. People was asking me, is the pot y'all just threw? It never gave dead. It never gave dead.
I'm rolling Ray. I don't even know what he was saying. Like I don't.
He said like the bat is something in the wheelchair or something.
Oh,
apparently, that video funny, but it does belie the seriousness of the situation because apparently he was in a coma.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That was also why I felt like I couldn't really laugh at it. I think it was funny because it wasn't him that posted it. It was whoever channel it is Make It Make Sense.
No, he posted. I think that was on his page, and everybody just, people
right.
take videos from. No, I'm pretty sure.
But it was on. I saw it. You sent it to me. It said "Make It Make Sense," and that also made things funnier because everything he posts doesn't make sense. So,
yeah. Shout out to Roland Ray, friend of the podcast. Hey, it's a reality TV show that I gotta tap into soon at some point. It's I guess it's basically all the gay influencers on social media, but it's like Roland Ray. It's Andrew Caldwell is on it.
Yeah, I have seen something about that. It was a while ago that I saw that. I didn't know if it came out yet.
I think it's on Zeus, and Zeus, hell is waiting for Zeus.
I've never even heard of Zeus. That's a platform?
It's like a streaming app, but yeah, it's a streaming platform. But they got all like the black like random people, and they got reality shows for all these people. They got Jocelyn Hernandez. You
Nah.
know. You don't know who Jocelyn is? If I sent you a picture of Jocelyn, you would know who Jocelyn is. She got her reality TV
Maybe.
show.
I don't know.
She got a reality TV. Wait, hold on. She got a reality. Look, Google Jocelyn Hernandez, Josieli. Her and Stevie J. Remember, like I don't know if you, she be what we used to be. Anyway, she got a reality show called Jocelyn's Cabaret. And basically, all it is her just verbally abusing women who just want to break into the industry.
I do not know who that is.
It's some lawsuits coming for that show. Somebody almost drowned in the pool because they was fighting. It's just ghetto fabulousness, just like all the way around. Yeah, Zeus ain't gonna be around for too much longer, but that's the platform. But did you look her up? You never seen her?
Mm-mm.
Oh, that's crazy. She's like really been everywhere the past like 8 years of our lives.
Yeah, I've been disconnected
and she got a
for
strong,
the past 8 years of our lives.
She got a strong like Cuban. Is she Cuban or Dominican? I think she's Dominican. She got a strong like Dominican accent, so her English is real like just broken and just not. And so everything she say even make it funny. I wish I could do her accent, but I can't.
Yeah, please don't. But you should try it. Go for it. Let's hear it.
Stevie. Stevie. Like she got like a
what? Wait, tell me what you're trying to say.
That's how she says Stevie. Instead of Stevie, she says Stevie with a B. Stevie. You know. Yeah. That's Jocelyn.
That is funny.
Well, yeah.
But
well, welcome back, guys.
I know. So much has happened in the last 4 months. It's crazy.
It has been a lot that's happened in this little bit of time, though. But so much can change.
We're excited to be here, though. I honestly, like when you asked me about meeting last week, I think I've kind of felt like since we haven't met in so long, I've kind of felt some anxiety about meeting again. So I was kind of like, I don't know. Yeah, next week. So I can give myself time to prepare.
You was scared?
Low key. But I don't know why. Like I don't know. It's been natural. It's been just allowing it to flow, But
it's organic. This ain't got no GMOs in it. This podcast. None.
I like GMOs.
I mean, I ain't got a problem with them. Did you know real bananas have seeds? Speaking of GMOs. Like real bananas.
Like what do they look like though?
You gotta Google it. Real bananas. It looks like it has seeds inside of the flesh part, the part we eat. Those are how real bananas look, and somehow, actually, apparently, those real bananas went extinct, and the bananas we eat now is some like genetically altered stuff that they had to figure out how to make because bananas was going extinct.
Interesting. Oh, yeah. Ew.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it looks it looks like those cookies and cream bars that they used to have, like the Hershey bar. It looks
like if you bite into it, it's gonna be like some gnats inside of it.
Oh, yeah, it does. I guess mine wasn't good enough for you, huh? It's okay.
I couldn't relate because I don't really eat those cookies and cream bars.
I'm just saying, like, I feel like you would have at least come across that at some point in your life.
Maybe.
I haven't had one of those since I was a kid, but that's what it immediately made me think of.
I stay away from that.
It's not ice cream. It's just.
You said it's a bar.
Yeah, it's like a Hershey chocolate bar.
I stay away from it.
It don't come from my ice. Okay.
Anything that come off ice cream truck, I stay away.
It's not ice cream.
It ain't even like the frozen. It ain't like a Klondike bar.
No, I said it's like a Hershey bar, but it was white chocolate with little like bits of.
I don't remember
cookie.
that one. I don't remember that one.
Oh.
You know what I do remember and I miss is Fruitopia. I don't know why that ever went out of style.
I remember McDonald's bought them.
Oh, they did? Why did they put them out of business?
For years, McDonald's had Fruitopia, like, exclusively. They served it, like, as a fountain drink. But I don't know if they do anymore. But yeah, Fruitopia was amazing. I loved Fruitopia.
It was like Kool-Aid, but, like, better.
Astute observation.
It was like it was like exotic Kool-Aid. Cause they would put like the craziest flavors together.
They would. It was good.
Yeah. I think they stopped having them in schools. Remember when they had that? They got healthy. Remember when that happened? Remember it was like middle school when they started being more healthy. It was like 5th or 6th grade.
You mean school foods in general started being more healthy?
Yeah. They there was like a whole nationwide like.
Yeah, that probably happened. That didn't happen for me specifically. Like, Dayton Public didn't get that memo.
Oh, okay.
Although, middle school, that was when I was going to the private school. And when I went to visit, like, I just spent the day there and toured the place. They had McDonald's, like, in their cafeteria. Like, that was their food, was McDonald's. And I remember the kids, like, lobbying and saying, we need more healthy options. And then I get there, McDonald's was gone, and I was pissed. Because then they had salads and Bosco sticks. And I'm just like, what is this? What happened to the apple pies? I mean, I probably never would have gotten out of my chunky phase had they have kept that McDonald's there.
Made it drop deeper into the depths of it.
Because that's when I hit my growth spurt. Like, I didn't lose weight. I just hit a growth spurt and thinned out. Like, so I was the same in every regard.
Word.
But that wouldn't have helped at all.
How you been though, buddy? You good?
I'm getting better. I wouldn't say I'm good, but I'm better. You know.
That's good. You still going like you still just rebelling against the little gluten and all that.
I am, but I really need to get back on it. I've been like noticing how it's affecting me. I do need to get back into it though. But it's just been so many other things that I just really haven't been paying that much attention to it. Like, I've been trying to do a lot of mental exercise, I'd say. I feel like that's my biggest thing right now. And then I just had surgery. Did I tell you that?
No.
Oh.
No.
That was part of why I didn't want to meet, because I had surgery. So I was like, it wasn't comfortable for me to sit down because I just got a BBL. So I was just trying to make sure that like nothing flattened or shifted in that time of healing. So now I'm better. Like, I just have like a very cushioned seat cover. So that's working out well. But other than that, like, I've been pretty good. Just healing the best way as possible. How about you? How's the past 5 months for you been?
BBL though, huh?
Huh?
Forgive about me. What's this BBL? What's the purpose?
The purpose?
Yeah.
You know, somebody hugged me and squeezed my butt and was like, "Hey, you got a butt like a female," and I was like, "Dang." So I wanted to change that.
How does a BBL change that?
That's a good point.
You didn't think this one through.
I didn't. It was a very rash decision.
Clearly. And now you out of 10K just for...
It actually didn't cost that much.
Oh, you get the cheaper one?
Yeah.
You get the shots?
Huh? Why do you know so much about... I knew you've been looking at BBLs.
I haven't actually.
I knew
but
it.
What's weird is I did.
This was all a ruse to flip it back on you because I've
What's
been
weird is
saying
I
from the
know a lot
beginning
about
that you had a
BBLs, but I
BBL.
don't look. It's just like the information, just like it's all over the internet now. But I really have not been looking at. But I do know like the levels of BBL though, for sure, for sure.
Nah. What really was my hamstring? I had my hamstring procedure. That I had scar tissue on my hamstring tendon, so that needed to be removed.
Is it feeling better yet?
No, not yet. I don't know what's so funny.
That's positive, I guess.
It's just not like I'm not. It's not that I'm not hopeful. For the record, I haven't stopped looking at these bananas because I had no idea that this was a thing.
It was like life-altering information for me.
I mean, I've never liked bananas, so it's not.
Yeah, I can take them or leave them.
But I always thought, like, even the bananas that we eat, that there were like tiny little seeds in them, like little black spots at some point. Yeah. I don't know, but I don't know. I thought they just like carved that little mid section of the banana, and that's how they planted them. But interesting. Yeah, it's crazy the amount of like food things and all the things that have happened with food and the genocides that have happened because of food. You should, if you've ever done any research into that stuff, it's crazy.
Yeah, well, pineapples. That's the one. Well, that's the one that first comes to mind. The Dole, all that. The Dole company that makes pineapples.
Mm-hmm.
Look into that. That's deep. That's why we get into Hawaii, so they can.
Interesting.
Start their little pineapple empire.
The first that came to mind for me is nutmeg.
Oh.
That one is pretty crazy.
Oh, where is this at? What country?
I don't remember. It's an Asian country though, but
okay.
Of course, Europeans,
Yeah.
They did what they do.
Speaking of Europeans, lately I've been saying one of my favorite pastimes is like anytime I see on the internet or I'm talking to somebody, however the communication is happening, if they mention dating white women, I send them Dr. Umar memes. That's why I sent you those pictures. I just texted you.
I didn't know why you sent. I figured it had to do something with this.
Those are some examples of like pictures I send to them whenever I like get any word of them.
Because when you sent it, you were like, speaking of changes, and then you sent this to me, and I'm like analyzing them, and I'm like, I like looking at the changes in his facial hair, or like I don't understand what I'm looking at. I don't understand this one, the last one that you sent me. Like, why is he just sitting in front of a high school? Like, what? Why is he just chilling at high school? This is the one with the red shirt.
Wait, he be in. I didn't notice it was high school.
Like, why is he just chilling there? Like,
I didn't know that was a high school. This is the first I've seen this picture a few times now. I didn't notice it was but he got like a bunch of like videos. Dr. Umar has a bunch of videos on the internet of him like. There was speculation that he might have been homeless because he would be in random like parks and places just shooting video and recording.
He probably is.
What? I don't know if he is now. He got married to 2 women, so he might be all right. He might not be homeless no more.
What's that mean?
If 3 people y'all all together and y'all homeless, 2 people are unnecessary.
It can happen. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, what if I don't know all his belief systems?
Somebody gonna get a job somewhere.
I know, but it's like, I don't know his full belief systems, but like, does he believe in women working?
I've never heard him talk about it. He don't really talk about. Well, he talks about social stuff, but I don't really hear him talk about like women working or not working. I could see him wanting a stay-at-home wife, but I could also see him. he seems like some of the stuff he's talked about. I could see him being okay with a woman working too, though. So I don't know. He don't touch on that. He ain't like Kevin Samuels. R.I.P. to the Godfather. He ain't like Kevin Samuels. But yeah. I don't
Interesting.
know. Yeah, he talks more about political stuff.
Right. I imagine him with shorter hair or older pictures, because you need to let your hair grow out though, for real.
Who, me?
Uh-huh.
Why?
Because how else are you gonna be connected to your environment?
What environment is that I need to be connected to?
The world around you. Like, that's your sensory, is your hair. Like, if you don't have any hair, like, that's the importance of a black man eating his hair, you know?
I've never heard this before.
Right. I am just saying. I know, but that's why I need to start educating y'all on this stuff. Because cause you probably be putting on lotion, and you probably be like, you blocking your skin and your hair is your sensory that's how you understand and download the information of the world around you. So if you putting on lotion, then you blocking your mental capacity, because your skin and your brain cells are made of the same cells. So what you do to your skin is what you're doing to your brain. So don't block what your brain capacity can do. So you need to stop wearing lotion. You need to start letting your hair grow.
How do I moisturize my skin then?
Why are you concerned about that?
I don't want to be ashy out here.
Why are you concerned about that?
Because I don't like being ashy. I don't like
drink water.
I don't like the feeling of dry hands and everything.
Drink water.
Water only does so much in that regard, you know.
You're not drinking enough.
Cosmetically, like, that's not gonna still change the fact that I'm ashy.
Nah, you're not drinking enough.
Oh, okay.
See, but that's what I'm saying, brother. Like, if you had your mindset cleared and your conscience cleared, you wouldn't be concerned about somebody looking at you and seeing you ashy. Because you are a black man. You created yourself. You willed yourself into existence.
Oh,
consciously.
I did.
I've been on a terror of YouTube over the past few weeks. I've learned so much. I've learned so much about the world.
You're enlightened, brother. There is like a glow behind you.
Oh my gosh.
Your aura.
That's lotion.
Oh. Yeah. Oh. Wait, what? Wait. Why you sneaking and putting on lotion?
Dude, like, the stuff that people believe is so interesting to me. It's just
some ridiculous
it's
stuff.
Some wild stuff out there.
Some very
like
the
thing that I was watching, this dude was literally in like a conference hall, like at a hotel, teaching a whole class of people this stuff, and like going through the science behind all these things. And he literally was like he was like, that's why babies are born with everything that they like. We're born with everything that we need already. He's like, we born. I don't even remember like his connection to everything, but he was.
So the babies don't need food at all. They don't really even need breast milk.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he was still talking about hair, and like, oh, that's what he was saying. A baby's born with everything they need. They're born with like nails, and basically that was all he was saying. He was like, now, if I as a baby can't shave my hair, then it's not meant to be shaved. And I'm like, what? He was like, I got a 4. I was like, he literally has never met a baby before, because
babies can't walk. We not supposed to be walking, really.
And I'm like,
we shouldn't be walking.
And then he started talking about eating. I'm like, but babies ain't got teeth. What you talking about? Like, what? Like, and people are just eating this stuff up. And he literally was like, y'all, some of y'all sitting there, y'all in school taking exams, and don't know what you like studying, don't know what you like doing in that exam because y'all covered in Vaseline. And I was like, what?
I didn't think you was going there. I didn't think that's how that was going.
I was like, bro.
I mean, he got a point. He's got a point.
So, but then, like, just explaining, like, all the sensory, and it's like how our hair is our sensory, and like our hair downloads the information from our environment. So I'm like, so I don't need eyes or ears or to feel things. I don't need a sense of smell because I got hair. You know? So like, what's the point of all this? I should pluck my eyes out right now.
Do it. Go ahead.
And like, basically what he explained is spiders is the ultimate thing. That's what spiders do. They use the fur on their legs to sense the environment around them. Weird. I didn't know I was a spider. But apparently I'm a spider.
This whole time, you Spider-Man. We're all Spider-Man.
We're all Spider-Man. Yep. It's
you getting word.
Some cool stuff out there.
Your YouTube suggestions are crazy, I bet.
And they're getting crazier. After I watched that, they're getting crazier. I don't even know how I stumbled upon that even being a suggestion for me. But it's,
oh my gosh,
it's some good stuff. It's good entertainment.
I've been watching this show on BT Plus. I finished it actually. I binged it over a few days. It's called Kingdom Business.
Okay. Is that like a church show? It sounds like it. Okay. Is it a drama or like a reality TV show?
No, it's a drama. It's like a scripted show, and I don't know why I love church dramas, but they're not even like this show. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. It was like in the middle. It was like okay. It was basically like a church empire for the most. You know that show Empire with Taryn. You know, It was like the church version of that. But the kicker was like so. The star, one of the main characters is Yolanda Adams. She plays a gospel singer in the show.
Okay.
But in the show, she's mean. She's terrible. And it's like Yolanda Adams is like one of my favorite gospel singers. Like I grew up listening to her. Like my mom always played her around the house type stuff. And like if a Yolanda Adams was even a tenth of how she is in this show, I would just be like, "Oh, Yolanda." I would like she's just so like she's awful. She's an awful person. And everything, but it's funny though, cause like stuff be cheesy in the show, cause like she'll be, she plays a manipulative character. So like anytime she's asking somebody to do something, she's like, "You're doing it for the kingdom."
Dang, yeah, that's rough. I don't think I could watch it. I don't like stuff like that because I know it's real. Like that, people really go through that stuff. In real churches. Like
that's true.
That
I guess, yeah.
That's one of those things I can't do it. I can't watch those shows like Greenleaf.
I love
this.
Greenleaf. Greenleaf was like, oh
I
my
am shocked to hear you say this. I did not know that you were into this.
I love these church, like they're funny to me. Like they're just very funny. Like but yeah, I love Greenleaf.
Like
that was my joint.
I can watch Stranger Things all day because I know this ain't real.
That's demonic though. It's about the symbolism.
It's not demonic.
You see, because it's a dragon in that show. That's representing the devil.
There's no dragon in that show.
That's representing the devil.
There's no dragon in this show.
And then you have all these kids running from the dragon. That's us.
What dragon?
That's us. That's us running from the devil.
What dragon?
But what they trying to get you to get, they trying to get you comfortable with the devil chasing you. They desensitizing you to a spiritual situation.
Even though it's not dealing with anything
because
spiritually.
we wrestle not against flesh and blood,
My.
but powers, and it's an and in there.
Mm-hmm.
Principalities.
Yes.
Rulers of dark forces.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
We wrestle against all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And stranger things. See, that's the thing. It's stranger. That's supposed to be us. Because God said we the peculiar people. The synonym for strange is peculiar.
Speaking of principalities, I almost don't even want to talk about it right now. But I feel like, wait, how long have we been on? I feel like
52 minutes.
Yo. Oh no, we only been recording for 30. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like that was throwing me off because I saw that first too, but record. Anyway, yeah, another thing that's come up is the several shootings have happened, right?
Yes.
And it just like, I think I've talked to you before about how I don't like to get upset about like white people doing racist stuff because it just gonna keep happening because I just don't really have any hope that that's gonna end in my lifetime or in even my kids or their kids' lifetime.
Ain't that a shame? We was once the generation that they was hoping it would end in our
Right.
lifetime.
Yeah, I just
and now we like, y'all was wrong. Great grandma, you was wrong. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Appreciate you having hope, but no.
Yeah, because my mom, when she was up here to like help out after the surgery, so and we like were having a conversation about some of that stuff and how like we're still fighting for the same things, ain't nothing different. And I was just like, yeah, it's just, I don't know, they just moved the goal line. Like we got to first down and they're just like, nah, it's down here, guys. And
right.
I just don't think that's gonna change. But I like, that was something that I've had to like remind myself of and like that's the only thing that keeps me, I guess, a little more level-headed, is knowing that it's principalities and there are just evil forces that are at work when it comes
it's
to
spiritual.
Right.
It
is.
It's not about the AR-15, but John 15.
No. That's funny and not funny because I could legitimately see like a white pastor getting up and saying that to his congregation that are like all supportive of the NRA and anti-gun control and all that stuff.
My issue with the NRA is that I never see them like, anytime as a black person's gun rights as play, I never see the NRA step up and speak out for them. But a white boy shoot 30, 20 kids in the school, and they like, whoa, hey, we don't gotta do like. I'm like, all right,
it's got nothing to do with us.
Yeah,
that he had some own things that he was dealing with.
There's a rapper in LA right now suing the LA, the city of LA, and I think the LAPD, cause like. I guess he got a gun charge, and I guess LA's gun laws are really like hard. They're harsh. They're like really, and it's really tough to get a gun, I guess, in LA and everything like that. And he's saying this is like he's suing them on the basis that they are like infringing upon his Second Amendment rights. I ain't heard a peep from the NRA. I ain't heard the NRA come out and be like, we supporting this rapper and his right to own a gun. I ain't hearing none of that. He ain't even a gangster rapper. He's just a regular rapper that raps about like regular stuff. And I ain't heard the NRA talk about none of this stuff.
What's his name? Is he like
Dom Kennedy?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I didn't know if he was local or known about.
No, it's Dom Kennedy.
Okay.
Yeah. And so he in the middle of a lawsuit, And so like, I ain't seen nothing from the NRA about this case, but they'll come out and let somebody. And we've had 2 shootings in like 4 weeks.
It's been more. Those are just the 2 that have been like public.
Oh, it is the one that happened. It was like Taiwan, some Taiwanese people or something got shot or something like that. That's the other one.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I think altogether, just in this year, there have been at least 30 mass shootings.
No, there have been 244 mass shootings so far this year.
Oh.
Or wait, no, that's not. There were. Wait.
Yes, that's what. So I was gonna say the 200 something, but I was like, I think I'm mixing that up with something else.
Yeah, but I saw that number 200. Like I saw the number 288, but I think that was like all the mass shootings that we've had in like the past certain X amount of years or something. Let me hold on. I gotta Google this now. But yeah, it's crazy.
Cause like you even brought up the Second Amendment thing, and I feel like nobody wants to actually talk about like why that was written. Like it's not.
Oh, I was breaking that down on the stories a few weeks ago or a week ago.
You were? Break it down for us again.
All right, I got y'all.
Because I didn't see it.
So there's been 288 mass shootings in the U.S. since January 1st, 2009.
2009.
That's the number I heard. But it's been like, apparently it's been more mass shootings though. I don't know. But anyway, but yeah, so the Second Amendment, right? All right. Let's go. We gonna hop in the time machine, guys. All right. Thank you for that. So the Second Amendment was originally put in place for 2 specific reasons. It was, for one, the first reason was to protect United States citizens against government tyranny.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the people, the founders of our country, all came from England, and so they had been used to a level of monarch or a tyranny from their monarch, and so to protect themselves, obviously they created a democracy. But they said if the democracy don't work, everybody owns guns, so the government can never just come through and just like do whatever we want because we all got protection. The second reason that the Second Amendment was put in place was so that the U.S. could easily like organize a militia if something ever popped off. Like if they ever needed military quickly, if they didn't have time to train anybody, everybody got guns. Boom, we got to fight. Like if England came back around, whatever, we needed guns. And so those were the 2 reasons that this happened. So defending that now, because we literally have Supreme Court justices who are what's called or originalists or I forget the basically they're like or fundamentalists, something to that effect. But basically what that means is they interpret the Constitution as it was originally written. And they interpret it from that perspective. The problem with that is that the Constitution was written in 1775 or 1776, or it was a little later, 1780 or something. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But like 200 years ago, it's a totally different society now. For one, the idea that you and I, our AR-15 would protect us from our government is like laughable. Like our government, like they get the weapons they get. You want to talk about weapons not being carnal? They get some weapons. All right. Our AR, like if the government wanted to do whatever they wanted to do, they could do it now. Our military is that powerful.
It's gonna be quick. Yeah, and swift. And then
the other faulty thing is them like us saying we need a guns just in case we need to organize a militia. Our government and our military do not need the normal regular citizens' help fighting any war. We are good. I mean, we talked about this on the past episode. Like our military is out of this world. Like we are straight on that front, and so it's like they would never call you up, Kyle, and be like, "Hey, bro, grab your gat. We got some Iranians. We need to help you take out." They would never do that. Like,
no.
And so the basis for which we still have the Second Amendment, or those reasons that they cited, just don't really hold up when you they don't hold up at all when you scrutinize them. And so it's like now it's at this point we're just like, I don't know, we're arguing like, I don't know, we're just people. I think people are just stuck in whatever, like they're, if you like guns, you're gonna defend guns. If you anti-gun, you're gonna be you
Right.
gonna so it's like, and yes, I don't know it. Like I just think we just really love guns in this country, and it's so embedded in our culture that I just don't. Like I said, I'm like, I don't have any hope that we will, like, people will give up their guns, and then people are scared, like, oh, like I said, like a lot of people are nervous, like, oh, if I give up my gun, the government is going to end up using it against me. It's like, bruh, you're not going to win against the government. You can have the shootout you want to. If you want to say you want to go out in a blaze of glory, but you going out. Like, you're
Right.
not winning this war. Like, this is not something that, like, yeah. And so, I don't know. I think people are just like, there's a lot of conspiracy theorists and that gets involved where people are just kind of like, oh, anything. It's like, no, you got to look at the facts. Like, the reality is you're not going to beat the U.S. government or the
At all.
military
You
at all.
you might take a couple people out. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
Couple
it.
bodies, but you're going down. You're going down.
So oh gosh, I'm glad you said that because I wasn't thinking about it in that regard of the this for real. Can you hear all that?
Yeah.
He
Somebody
got like this old school souped up engine. It's like, I mean, the car is sweet, but he'll just turn
Yeah.
it on every once in a while and just do that, and he decides he wants to do it right now.
Oh.
Anyway, but that is an interesting point that I hadn't thought about the people having this notion that they need to protect themselves from our government, like currently, and they're just like, yeah, I can like build my own safe house and I can be good. I'm like, no, that's not gonna happen. But you did like touch on what I was thinking about the with the Second Amendment, because it's like, I don't know, I feel like people, even though that wasn't even in history, that wasn't written that long ago, but
Right.
it's like already out of context, and like people always want to talk about context when they read something, and it's just like,
Yeah.
context is cultural. Like, you have to understand everything that was going on back there, why it was written, and like who it was
Yeah.
written for, who it was written by, and all that stuff. And I've never hear anybody talk about that. They always just say it's like the Second Amendment, or even if they're having like discussions about it. So I just wanted to like touch on that because I feel like people need to understand this. And it's the same thing
Yeah.
with like freedom of speech. Like, freedom of speech isn't, I should be able to say whatever I want and keep my job. Like, no, you could lose your job because these are private
Yeah.
entities. Like, they
Right.
have nothing. It
Exactly.
was about government again. Like,
Yeah.
they couldn't say anything against their government previously, or else they
Right.
could be imprisoned or put to death. So like, now you have freedom of speech. You can say these things. You have freedom of religion, and you can do these things without
Right.
the government stepping in and saying, nah, y'all can't do that. And like, people are
Right.
just like, no, I can do whatever and say whatever I want with no consequence. Like, no,
Yeah.
there's
No.
consequences, dude.
Right. Right. For sure. No, that was, yeah. I think you're right. I like how you said context because it's so important, but people don't. I don't know. I don't know if people have a good. I don't know if history's taught well enough or it's not taught in in context of today, because like it was just a totally different society. Like I said, even the gathering of a militia, like America originally was a very like kind of splintered up like nation. Like, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? It was united, quote unquote, in name, but it was like splintered up. There wasn't a great means of communication at the time. Like so it was like gathering up a militia. Like, instead of like, we got to put out, and they didn't have an established military originally at first. That
Mm-hmm.
took them a while to really organize a real army, and so like, it was all these different things that just are not the case now, that we like, but we're still using those examples or using that history to like as our basis or as defense for why we should have guns now. And
Yeah.
it's just not the same at all. And so yeah, man, get these guns out of here.
Right.
Like, what are we doing?
And it's like, I feel the other end is everybody saying we need gun control, and I mean, I think that's the start of like having a background check. Like, I think that's what everybody's fighting for right now, because we need something. Like, I hope everybody understands that doesn't actually solve the thing, but it could hopefully minimize it going forward until we get better things and implement it.
There was an assault weapons ban that was put in place in 1994, and and over that period, like, mass shootings went down by like a significant amount, basically. And then that assault weapons ban ended in like 2009, which is, I think, why they cite that 288 mass shootings since then, because that's when the assault weapons ban was lifted. And then ever since then, it's been on and popping, because the 18-year-old can go and get an AR-15. Like, can't even vote yet, maybe, or just barely start voting.
Right.
Can't vote, can't drive, or can't rent a car, can't drink. All these different, like, but you can go and grab a gun. Like, and what do you even need the gun for? And that's the thing too. I've seen other examples of what other countries do. Like in Japan, if you want to buy a gun, like, you got to do a background check, and then they come through. They question you about why you need this gun. All these different, like, kind of hoops you got to jump through just to get a gun. Whereas what else? You just walk in and buy a gun. Now, obviously, I do think, like you said, it's not going to completely curb it, because you're right. There is a like a legal gun market. People can just go buy guns off the street and everything like that, because there's so many guns. Like, it's our country has been flooded with guns, like, on just the open market. So, I mean, it's not going to completely curb it, but I think that'll be the start of some things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we got to do something. We can't just do nothing. That's the thing. Like, it's like nobody wants to do anything.
Nothing.
Like anything at all. Like, yeah. And so, or they're like, they're the one thing the Republicans do, they like, because they're the main ones defending this, for the most part. They redirect to some other issue. Like, in light of that shooting in Texas, a lot of politicians are coming out and be like, well, this is a mental health issue, actually. This isn't a gun issue. This is just a mental health issue. And it's like, okay, mental health, that's all right, that could be true, right? There's still a problem with people who are mentally ill have access to the guns as they have.
Like, what? How does that solve?
Like, that's still an issue. Like, you still haven't addressed what's going on yet. And so, yeah, I don't know. But I'm kind of like, I'm cynical about whether or not, anything's gonna happen. Probably not anything's gonna happen. And then, man, that shooting it pissed me off so bad, because it's like the police didn't even do nothing.
I know they were about that. Yeah, they were just like kind of waited.
They sat outside the classroom for 50 minutes.
Right, waiting for
God knows what.
The call to like go in. I know part of it, I saw they were waiting for keys, and I'm like, for real? Keys? They were like, I can't get in because we ain't got the key to get in.
If me and you get some crack cocaine in the house and they try to raid our house, they're not about to sit at the door. They're not about to sit there and be like, hey, y'all gotta, hold on, we're gonna make this copy real quick. And then
I've heard like the explanation of like, basically, the reason why they were saying there was no rush to go in is because they thought everybody was dead already. So they were like, oh, he's just in there by himself, barricaded, and we got time. And I'm just like, even if that were true, which it wasn't, even if that were true, he could have gone out the window and like gone somewhere else. I know they had people outside too, but still, like, why? I just don't understand the rationale.
They said it was an off-duty Border Patrol agent that was the one who killed. He made his way in against their orders, and he's the one who killed the dude.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. I thought they actually finally got the order to go in.
No, nobody on that police department made the shot to kill the dude. It was an off-duty border. Yeah.
Because I know.
And they was holding back. The thing is, they was holding back parents from actually going in.
Right, because they wanted to go in. Like, some of them had guns. They was like, no, I'm going in here. And they were like, no, you can't. We got it. But they weren't doing it. Like, it does piss me off.
It's all under control. It's all, don't you worry. You hearing all types of gunshots in the background. Hey, it's all good. It's all good. Hey, we're gonna get little Johnny in just a second. Pop, 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 pop. Hey,
man. Because then
Man.
I was reading like some of the other accounts from like even some of the stories from the students. Bro, this stuff is so heartbreaking. Like what the students were
Yeah.
doing to like try
Yeah.
to stay safe. Like
Yeah.
a little girl, two little girls. The one of them, they actually called the police. Like they took the phone from their then deceased teacher, and called 911 while they were like hiding. But they like took the blood of the another deceased student, one of their friends, and like covered themselves in it. So they played dead, like while they were waiting for police to come. And I'm just like, why does a kid have to go through that? Like, why does a kid have to do
Yeah.
something like that?
They gonna be they scar. I mean, that's putting it lightly, scar for life, but they really
Right,
are.
for
Like,
sure.
this is, man. And then I don't know if you heard that, like, it was a teacher who died, and then her husband had a heart attack.
Mm-mm. No, I
Yeah,
didn't hear that.
it was the one teacher. It was one teacher who was shot and killed, and then her husband, like a few hours or a day later or something, he had a massive heart attack and died too.
Dang.
And it's like, man, it's like, yo, that type of pain. I get it though.
Right. Because I feel like there's so many more directions I want to take this conversation. But one other thing, I was like on Facebook, just because I was curious, what are people saying about this incident?
Yeah.
Because I know this stuff always sparks Facebook debates. And I had an old teacher who is very, very anti-republic or anti-conservative and Republican. So he just be going in and but like him and some other people were saying stuff, and like most of the people are like kind of an echo chamber, but he's got people that come in, and one dude was like, so if we're gonna make these laws banning these guns for a few bad apples, then we're allowing like these few bad people to dictate the laws for the righteous people, or like the people that are not doing anything bad. And he was like, I just don't see, like, that's just dumb. Like, why would we do that? Why would we allow or live in a society that does that? And at first I was just like, that's stupid. And then I thought about it more, and now I understand why it's stupid. It's stupid because that's literally laws, period. Like every law that's
Right.
ever been written is because of that. So I'm like, you
Yeah.
just need to not exist if you don't want to live in a society like that, because
Yeah.
we
There's always
have
a few bad apples.
right. Like
Yeah.
we come
It
up
was
with
one
these
dude
things.
that put a bomb in his shoe that didn't go off. That's the reason we take our shoes off at the airport. It was one instance,
Right.
instance of a dude.
So I'm like, so
putting
you don't fly anymore? Like you
Mm.
don't do like that's just the stupidest reasoning. But then like there were some people like, yeah, that makes sense. I'm like, no, you're idiots. Like you just don't think through life clearly, because I don't know.
One terrorist attack changed how we go through the airport in general.
Forever.
Really. Forever.
I can remember getting on a plane or like walking through, being with family as they get on their plane and take off. Like, I remember that.
Yeah, my mom and my dad used to walk me down to the gate, and now after it was like,
that's over.
Yeah.
And how many people was that? Like 10, 20 people that changed the entire world. And you want to talk about, these few people can't change our whole country. Like many other countries, they've had one mass shooting and they like banned it. They like put in laws immediately after. And just like, how many do we need to have? And I really think it's like, because the people that control some of our laws, they live so lawfully, like they're so high above us that they don't really care about what's going on with the people in the day to day, because they don't need to, essentially. In order for them to keep their power, like they really don't need to care for every detail of the American life. And I'm just like, until it happens to them, I don't think anything's gonna change. But I don't really want that to happen either.
Yeah, I don't know, and I don't even know about that now. Like about if they go out of power, because I think what I'm seeing is that level of power and that level of wealth and and influence kind of propagates itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like those people, they have people behind them who are kind of getting to come and replace what they're doing now.
Right.
And I think a lot of people think that if this class of people die off, it's gonna just power is gonna be automatically transferred to and I don't think that's gonna be the case at all. You got to take power, baby.
Right.
In all history, you got to snatch it. You got to snatch the power.
And The Boys is coming back this week, as well as the NBA Finals.
The Boys is coming back. What day?
June 3rd.
Is it all the episodes dropping at once, or is it week to week?
I hope it's all episodes at once. They haven't been doing week to week.
Oh, they never did week.
No, I don't think they've ever done that.
I'm thinking of the other show, Invincible. That was week to week. The
cartoon,
that was week to week.
Okay. I mean, I didn't watch it until it was all the way out, but that's good. That's really good. Yeah. But yeah, so that's coming back, and that made me think about, like, I wonder how many people watch The Boys and think it's a good show, but don't see the correlation to what it is in gun control and gun laws in the U.S.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost literally the same thing.
Right.
But we can look at it and be like, oh, that's ridiculous. Of course they would do something about that because they're superpowers, but not a gun. Like, I just think that's interesting.
Yeah, The Boys is back. That's the best news I've gotten all week.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm excited. I know what I'm doing this weekend.
I'm rooting for the Warriors this weekend. That's what I'm doing.
They're losing. Every statistic I've seen lead me to believe the Warriors are going down.
I don't care about statistics. I'm following my heart on
They
this
said
one.
every first year coach in the past 10 years, every first year coach in the finals wins. They went back to Steve Kerr.
I was about to say Steve Kerr is included in that.
Tyronn Lue. The Warriors have a winning record, or the Celtics have a winning record against the Warriors since 2014. They're the only team in the NBA with a winning record against them. It's one other statistic too. Oh, every team that loses or that beats Jimmy Butler in the playoffs in the past 3 years has won the championship. That's another true one.
Dang.
Yeah.
That one's funny.
Yeah.
Because it's like, whatever.
It's weird though. I don't like the Celtics at all. I think as a black person rooting for Boston is just.
It is weird. But they're good. They have so many reasons for me to root for them.
They are good, but it's going to be weird rooting for them. And I'm as a Laker fan, but the Warriors can't. I'm tired of them. They got to go.
I'm not tired of them. I want this to continue. I want my kids to watch it.
The ways, they boys going. They might watch it a little bit of him. They might be good still. The way they got all them young players still, they might actually really be good still in a few years when you have children. But yeah, man, Boston is gonna take it. I hope.
How dare
although
you?
I wouldn't mind seeing them lose too, but I just don't want to see the Warriors. It's really no win for me. I don't really want to root for either team. But I would prefer the Warriors not win.
Man. Go.
It's personal, too, because I've been seeing on Twitter, it's little rumblings of, if Steph wins, is he, better than Kobe, or is he in Kobe's... And I'm like, all right, now y'all getting crazy. And so for even that reason, I'm like, I can't have Steph winning and just them trying to put him on the same pedestal as Kobe. It's like, no.
I mean, no. I just hate comparisons of players like that when they're just different players.
Yeah, they are totally different players.
You just can't. Sure. I don't think you should compare anybody that doesn't play the same.
Yeah, I mean, I got my whole own thoughts about comparing general. Even comparing eras is even weird to me, but
it is.
Yeah, I do try to appreciate every player for who what they do and what they bring to the game. But I still don't. That's don't bring Steph and Kobe. You don't got to do that.
You don't
got to do that. You don't got. They could be great on their own.
They can.
But if he does win, though, His resume is gonna be, man.
Right.
I can't even argue. It's kind of a really good resume.
Because I do think that even though Boston is, I mean, I guess their stars are young, but they're not really that young of a team. But like, I think this is one of the more challenging teams that they've had to face in the finals.
Who, the Warriors?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's a different Warriors team. Like they're just not. They're good, but they're not as dominant. This is not the same dominant.
This ain't
Warriors.
Like 2015-16 Warriors.
Yeah, no.
Because despite even like the fact that they've gotten this far, I haven't watched them and just been like overly impressed by how they've played.
Nah,
they've just been winning, but they haven't been like dominant.
Yeah, no, they not that dominant version that they were before, but they're still really good though. Still good. But yeah, that's another thing. They're definitely way more beatable than they've ever been in any other. Like you said, it's probably the most beatable they've looked ever in the finals.
Yeah, looked though, but is it though? That's all I'm saying. I'm still like I'm nervous about this. I wanted the Heat to win because I felt that would have been an easier matchup.
Oh, yeah, they would have ran through the Heat. Yeah,
but
sure.
Tatum is just looking like he's about to be the man for the next decade.
He's good. He's really good.
Jaylen Brown is really good. I hated the whole conversation that they used to have. Like, can they play together? I'm just like, dude, just let them play. Like, they'll figure it out.
They young. They was young. That's the thing. It's like you can't give up to them at this stage. They too young to just be like, oh, we got to trade them.
Yeah. I'm glad Brad Stevens, like, I don't know. He seems like he had his head on straight all this time and didn't, like, feed into any of that stuff.
Yeah.
But
shout out to Ime Udoka, though, the break with Paulson. He's winning in life as a whole. I might actually hire him to be my life coach next. Now, I might have to fire Gucci and hire Ime.
Dang, Gucci, don't fire Gucci. He been at like every Celtics game. Why has he been at the Celtics games?
Apparently he's a Celtics fan. That's
why?
The thing. Like, I don't know. That's what I don't get it either. I'm like, of all teams you could root for,
it never
Gucci.
made sense to me. Every
of
time
all
I would see him.
Yeah, I don't.
Nah, Mark Jackson said something one day. They were like showing like all the celebrities in the crowd and stuff, and they like showed like some of the family and all that, and they showed Nia Long and Ime Udoka's son, and like Mark Jackson was just like, yeah, he is blessed. And then like you were just waiting for him to say more, and like everybody was quiet. Like all the other commenters weren't saying anything. He was just like, he is blessed. And it was like 30 seconds before somebody said something else. And I was just like, where was he going with this? Like,
that's all he had to say. Have you seen the one where he talks about LeBron?
Yeah, and that's what I was like, I think he had a flashback in that moment. He was about to say something. He was like, wait, no. Yeah. I got in trouble for this last time.
And what's funny, they have people in their ear too.
Right.
They actually have producers in their ear telling us. So somebody might have been like, easy, Mark, easy. Easy.
But yeah, the LeBron one is ridiculous. Like, how did he fix his mouth to even say that on air?
Yeah.
Oh,
like, he was right though.
but I watched it again recently just to like hear what he was saying again. Like, yeah, and not knock it out of the park without question, with all due respect. And I'm just like, what? No, you can't just throw with all due respect at the end.
Yeah, he was wild.
It's so funny.
Yeah. Apparently, the reason he don't get a job is kind of crazy, but I still ain't got the whole story yet.
Wait, who?
Why
Mark
he got
Jackson?
fired by the Warriors? Yeah.
Oh, I was about to say. I mean, he got a job. He's just not a coach.
Yeah. Why he can't get? But it's like the reason he can't get another coaching job because of why he got fired.
Oh,
but I ain't got the whole story yet. I'm putting it together though. I'm investigating it. I'm putting the pieces together.
Thank you for doing that. And then once you do, make a YouTube video.
I will.
And it'll make a killing.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do like really dramatic music and like black and white pictures and like quotes, all that.
I know part of it. I was watching the Draymond Green and Steph Curry. Like he had Draymond Green had Steph Curry on his podcast, and they were like talking about that a little bit. And Curry alluded to some of it had to do with the comment that he said that Steph ruined the league, like he ruined the game of basketball, because it was Mark Jackson who said that about.
That's the Disney version of what he.
I
did.
know. I'm just saying that like had something to do with it. So
I don't even know if it had anything to do with it, but it's a good like, because that's the thing. All the reasons they cite for why he got fired are like.
Well, no, that wasn't why he got fired. This was after he was fired. I was saying this has something to do.
Or why he can't get another job.
Yeah.
Even like even all the little stuff they point to is like kind of distracting from why he really got fired. But I haven't gotten to the whole why he really got fired.
Right.
It's something he did crazy. Apparently he did something that you like is like you can't do. Because he was doing other stuff too weird. Because they said he was like. Especially towards the end of his, because he's a pastor, so he was doing a lot of like religious, spiritual stuff.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, he's a pastor.
He's a pastor.
Yeah, he has a church, and so like he would do little stuff in the practice and say stuff to coach players and stuff. But even that stuff that he was doing was forgivable. That wouldn't have not gotten him another job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He would have just had to tone that down. But it's something else. But the investigation is ongoing.
Oh, that's funny.
We're gonna do the Kwame Kilpatrick deep dive next week.
Oh, I forgot all about that.
It deserves.
I haven't even read into it yet.
No, please do before next week.
I've only heard stories, but
it deserves a solid 20 to 30 minutes.
So when you text me, I thought you were talking about something that's currently going on.
No, that's the original story. I just had never read it as a like I remember hearing about it as a like when we were younger and everything like that, but I didn't know the details of it. And a part of me thought he had just kind of like, I don't know. I just thought he might have just got some, skimming money off the top, and they just gave him some time.
No, yeah. Some of the stories, like I've heard stories of people that like lived in Detroit during that time, and they would like tell me some stuff, and mostly like the dude I used to work with, Henry, he used to always talk about it, and he was just like, yeah, it was wild. And just
there is murder, perjury, there is nepotism, there is an affair, divorce. It's really like a soap opera. It's really like motion picture worthy.
I know one story is like, because wasn't he messing with the woman was like a news anchor or something?
Oh, I didn't know that. I just know about the girl who was working with him.
Oh no, there was another one too. She was like a news anchor that was like.
At this point, I'll believe anything you tell me.
It was
about
like buying She like bought him like a Rolls Royce or something, or a Ferrari or something like that.
And he was married too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now he back. He came back.
He is back. He on the comeback trail.
He's a preacher now, so
he is preaching. I didn't know he was a preacher, but I was just like, I've seen some videos recent of him like Kwame Kilpatrick preaches about this. I'm just like, okay, maybe they just had him as a speaker, and they saying he preacher.
Nope.
But yeah,
it was all over the news here.
Oh,
so it's he has a story.
He does. He got lucky getting out. He was supposed to be in jail till like 2030 something.
Shout out to Trump.
Big T, baby. Strikes again. Shout out to Big T.
Yo, but yeah, we'll definitely talk about that next week.
Yeah, we have to. We got to go into detail because my mind was blown. And then we got to talk. The other politician I told you about, she crazy too. She kind of got connections to Kwame. Her and Kwame was cool actually, but her name was Monica Conyers. She's the
Okay.
ex-wife of John Conyers, who's like the legendary Michigan politician up there.
Yeah.
And she got his stories of her cussing out other councilmen and threatening them with violence, and just she was running amok too. Detroit politics is just, I was like, this, what is going on up there? And it's all like, I know it happened, but it fits. So it's like, yeah, this would be happening in Detroit. This would be the thing. This would happen in no other place. Yeah.
I'm running for mayor.
Alone in a room.
Literally.
It's just me and you.
I guess you wouldn't be alone then. But
I feel so lost.
And
I don't know what to do.
Okay.
Now what if I choose
What you gonna choose?
the wrong thing to do?
You ain't gonna be wrong by me, baby.
I'm so afraid.
What you afraid of?
Afraid of disappointing you.
Oh, you can't disappoint me.
So I need to talk to you.
Hey, we talking. What you want, baby?
And ask you for some guidance.
Oh, ooh.
Especially today.
I'm supposed to be God. I made this sexual.
When my world seems so cloudy.
I'm so sorry.
Guide me until I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to guide you. Mm-hmm.
I open up my heart.
See, I'm glad I figured that out before you got to open up mine. Because I would have made the wrong turn. You know what I'm saying?
My hopes and dreams.
All hopes and dreams. Mm-hmm.
Are fading fast.
Hey, just read Jeremiah.
I'm all burnt out. And I don't think my strength's gonna last.
That didn't even rhyme.
So I'm crying out.
Okay.
Crying out to you.
Hey, I hear you.
That's it. That's all.
Oh, okay. Thanks for joining, everybody. I'm Kyle Walker.
I'm V Baby.
And thank y'all for watching and listening, or both, to this podcast, because I don't remember the name of it because it's been a while. Bye.